When people talk about Watch Dogs, they usually focus on Aiden Pearce's quest for revenge after the death of his niece, Lena. But what often goes unnoticed is how his actions, intended to punish corruption and expose the truth, may have actually strengthened the very system he was fighting against. In trying to take down the powerful, Aiden might have ensured that Chicago would never escape surveillance again. Throughout Watch Dogs, Aiden uses ctOS, the city's central operating system, to manipulate lights, bridges, and security cameras. He becomes an urban ghost, able to watch anyone at any time. To Aiden, ctOS is a weapon of justice, but in the hands of those who control it, it's the perfect tool for oppression. What's ironic is that Aiden's rampage across Chicago proves how dangerous ctOS truly is, giving corporations and the government every reason to justify expanding it. Instead of dismantling the system, he becomes the proof that it needs to exist. By the end of the game, Aiden manages to defeat Damian Branks and expose some of the truth behind the Bloom Corporation's control. But what follows is far from a victory. In the Bad Blood DLC, and later in Watch Dogs 2, we learn that ctOS expands beyond Chicago, spreading to multiple cities across the US. The justification? Cyber terrorists and vigilantes like Aiden Pearce. His campaign against the system becomes the reason it grows stronger. The man who tried to protect his family ended up helping create a world where privacy barely exists. Even more tragic is how personal guilt drives Aiden into this cycle. His obsession with control, being able to monitor, predict, and punish, mirrors the mindset of Bloom itself. Both are motivated by fear and the illusion of safety through surveillance. He becomes a reflection of the very corporations he despises. That duality is subtle but central to Aiden's character. By the time we see him again in Watch Dogs Legion, Aiden is older and more self-aware, but the damage is already done. The age of ctOS surveillance, an age he inadvertently helped solidify, has spread worldwide. His personal crusade created a blueprint for control that outlived him. So while Watch Dogs presents Aiden as a flawed hero, his legacy tells a darker story. He didn't just hack Chicago, he changed the philosophy of an entire society. His actions blurred the line between justice and control forever. And in the end, maybe that's the greatest tragedy of all. Aiden Pearce didn't destroy the system, he perfected it, as the world of Watch Dogs. One comes to a close, it's hard not to notice how the game quietly hints at something bigger than Aiden's personal crusade. The city of Chicago feels alive, yes, but it also feels watched, almost as if the player themselves is part of the surveillance system. That's what makes it unsettling. One thing Watch Dogs 1 never gets enough credit for is how it quietly explores Aiden Pearce's guilt. Not just over his niece's death, but over his role in creating the chaos that consumes Chicago. Most players remember Aiden as the vigilante, a hacker bent on revenge. But if you really pay attention to his story, you realize that he's also one of the people responsible for the city's suffering. Before Lena's death, Aiden wasn't trying to be a hero. He was a con artist, a thief who used ctOS to steal from people. He didn't think about the consequences of invading private lives or manipulating the city's systems. He saw data as just another way to make money. The problem is, in the world of Watch Dogs, data isn't just information, it's power. And Aiden's reckless hacks brought him face to face with people far more dangerous than he understood. The hit that killed Lena wasn't random. It happened because Aiden's digital thefts got him noticed by people like Damian Branks, his former partner, and Maurice Vega, the man who pulled the trigger. But the bigger picture points to something even darker. If Aiden hadn't been playing with systems he didn't fully understand, Bloom wouldn't have had a reason to tighten control over Chicago. Every act of rebellion he commits gives Bloom more justification to expand ctOS surveillance. His fight against the system ends up strengthening it. Throughout the game, Aiden keeps saying he wants justice, but his actions blur that line. Every time he causes a blackout, manipulates traffic lights, or exposes someone's secrets, he becomes what he hates. A person who decides who deserves punishment and who doesn't. That's what makes Watch Dogs 1 so complex. It's not a story about a hero fighting corruption. It's about a man realizing too late that he's part of the problem. By the end, when Aiden faces Damien and finally accepts what happened to Lena, it's clear that the real enemy wasn't just Bloom or the hitmen. It was Aiden's obsession with control. He thought he could bend technology to his will, but technology ended up bending him. And that's what makes his story so haunting. Because in a world run by data, even justice can be corrupted. What makes Aiden Pearce's story even more tragic is that his obsession isn't driven by justice. It's driven by control. Every part of his life has been shaped by loss and helplessness, and the only way he knows how to fight that is through domination. Of people, of systems, of information. He believes that if he can see everything and control everything, he can prevent tragedy. But that's the illusion at the heart of Watch Dogs 1. The more Aiden tries to control the world, the more it slips away from him. You can see it in how his relationships fall apart. His sister Nikki is terrified of him. She's not afraid of Bloom or the criminals chasing them. She's afraid of Aiden. To her, he's no longer a protector. He's a threat.